Hello, Red Wave. Welcome to Beware of Bulldogs podcast. Caleb, I remember to stop the music, so I won't start another time. This is Beware of Bulldogs podcast. We are your hosts, Caleb and Caleb. We make it really easy for you guys here. Thanks for tuning in. This is our weekly edition of the Monday live stream. We're on YouTube, Beware of Bulldogs, and live on Twitter at Beware CSUF. Jump in the chat and the comments section, whatever they're called these days, and talk to us. Let us know what's going on. You guys can, bring up any questions you have. By the way, Caleb, I forgot to mention, could you pull up Twitter chat, please?
Yep.
Robert Perez is here. What's up? Go Dogs, baby. What's up, Robert? Thanks for joining. Quick stuff to get through before we start talking, because we have a packed show today, so I'll make it really fast. We're talking football commits, baseball over St. Mary's, and Mountain West over-unders. And then I think we have a model that we're going to show as the earthquake strikes the Pletz household.
Drop my phone.
Bucket golf tournament, June 17th, the Saturday before Father's Day. We have a bucket golf tournament. We are hosting at Givoli Winery. Tee off is at 9 a.m. Check in at 8:30. Tickets at bewareofbulldogs.com. The winner, the overall winner, the individual winner gets season tickets to the Fresno State football season. That's huge.
That's a big prize.
That's
a big
huge.
Prize. Yeah.
And we have swag and alcohol for everybody there. Oh, a certain amount, and then you have to buy it. We don't have that much. We don't make anything, so you gotta have to pay after one. Robert, as always, is making sure that the Big 12 knows that we want the invite. Caleb, when are we getting it?
I think if it's coming, it's probably coming at the end of June. That's at least what it seems to be the consensus of when something's going to happen with Pac-12. So, yeah, I think don't hold your breath, Robert. I think we got to be a little patient here, and hopefully something finally happens with Pac-12, and maybe it disbands or something. But, yeah, I think end of June, mid to late June is when something might happen. Yeah.
Caleb, let's catch up. How was the weekend, man?
Weekend was good. A little warm outside. That's all right. Got a lot of grad party activities just around town. So been making the rounds, some grad parties. A lot of taco trucks, which has been appreciated. But yeah, it's been spending some time outside eating food.
Man, it's been hot. I'm sweating in my house. All the fans are on. Haven't turned on the AC yet, though.
Oh wow,
too cheap. I can't do it yet. Yeah, we'll just open the windows at night.
There you go.
Oh, I ripped my pants over the weekend working at the winery. That was embarrassing. Right down the back pocket on the jeans. My wife wasn't there to protect me, but my buddies just made fun of me.
There you go.
Yeah, so we worked at the winery this weekend. It was pretty fun. That's all I can really think of. Not an exciting weekend on my end.
But we have plenty of developments in the Fresno State world, so that's why we're here.
Good job, man. Good segue.
That's right.
We have some commits and a preferred walk-on to talk about. Let's start with the preferred walk-on, Caleb. This is football.
Mm-hmm.
Because this preferred walk-on walked on right now, and he is joining the team in 2023. That is Jack Jacobs, quarterback, 6'6", 3-star, out of California. He's a preferred walk-on, like I said. So we had 3 quarterbacks leave. If you count, we had a walk-on that left, that entered the transfer portal and left, Alec. Trujillo, yes. So he left with Henderson and Robinson.
Robinson, yep.
And now we grab Jack Jacobs, 6. I heard 6'6", Robert. I know you said 6'7". I hope he's 6'7". I don't. What are your thoughts about bringing in another quarterback at the preferred walk-on, as a preferred walk-on?
Yeah, I mean, the Dogs definitely needed, I think, at least one more body in the quarterback room just for rounding out reps, with scout team and whatnot. And, in worst case scenario of injury, a couple guys going down. So It's good. I mean, we like the size. That's, I guess atypical for, I guess, the Tedford model lately with, Hayner and then Mikey Keene and even, Logan Fife, who are all kind of hovering around 6 feet tall. So, yeah, a little bit different. We'll see, where he's able to fit in there. I know that we're all still pretty excited about Jaden Mandel, the local kid from Buchanan, who's, possibly quarterback of the future once, Keene, moves on in a year or two. So, but having young depth, I think, is important, especially in transfer portal era. I mean, who knows, how long any of these guys are going to stick around. But yeah, getting a 3-star, as a preferred walk-on, I think is important too, because saves another scholarship spot to maybe someone who's already on the team walk on who maybe earned being on scholarship, or someone else in the transfer portal to fill a need. So like maybe offensive line or something like that. Hopefully we can speak that into existence.
Yeah, we've been trying every week. Yeah. I'm going to throw this up real quick because this doesn't happen often. I'm always wrong. Finally, I'm right for once. Okay, so he is 6'6". Good to know.
Yeah.
Right. Just got to make sure. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this goes as bringing on a preferred walk on. I'm excited about it. We're deep. And the nice thing about this, and we're starting to see this more and more. Kids want to play for us or come and play for Tedford at the quarterback position.
Right.
They don't care how. They just want to get to Fresno State to learn from Coach Tedford. And I don't blame them. I would do the same thing. Granted, I'm a little biased, but right. I would do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the huge benefits of having an experienced coach that has the track record. So, I mean, that has to make it a lot easier in, going into living rooms and doing, recruiting pitches to, players and parents too, just saying, hey, look, these are the guys that, I or my coaching staff has developed into, strong quarterbacks. So it's got to be really helpful for the coaching staff there. And, yeah, looking forward to it, seeing, how they're able to compete. And I mean, another thing, the backup, I mean, really the starting job is still wide open. I mean, they haven't named a starter yet. Obviously we're, speculating.
Is it Caleb?
You know what, until we see the first snap at Purdue, I think that'll be the time when we know. I mean, I'm sure that the depth chart is going to list or. I mean, I doubt it'll be definitively announced by the coaching staff, unless Keene just really separates himself, in the summer and fall practice. But I mean, these guys are still competing for QB1, QB2, QB3. So a lot on the line for these guys, and yeah, see what happens.
Yeah, Bob's in here saying, "In Teddy we trust." Bulldogs Bob, that is. And we say it every episode, Caleb. Whatever Tedford puts out there at the quarterback position, we trust him.
Yep.
We're not going to question that guy. That's for sure.
Right. That's right.
And Bob, I know you want to talk about this guy. Was it last week, maybe 2 weeks ago? But Jordan Malauulu. That sounded pretty good, by the way.
Nailed it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Three-star wide receiver out of Long Beach Poly.
Mm-hmm.
He was our first commit for the 2024 class. So Jack Jacobs, quarterback, that was for this year, 2023. Mm-hmm. We're moving into 2024. Jordan Malauulu. I'm practicing, man. I'm practicing for when I go to Hawaii. I can't wait.
There you go.
Thoughts on adding another wide receiver? Because in my opinion, we needed this.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, wide receiver room is a big question mark for, this coming season. But I mean, even looking beyond that, I mean, I think Delana is a senior this year, if I'm not mistaken. He might have a COVID year left in there, and I think Brooks is a senior too. So looking beyond this to 24, I mean, there's still going to be, spots available on, the two deep there for wide receiver, and guys are going to be able to compete and try to get those spots. So good to build that wide receiver depth, coming in for the future. And, especially with Pat McCann, I mean, he's very well respected from, a lot of the wide receivers and, some of the guys in the organization we've talked to. So I think that's a big pickup. And, Long Beach Poly has produced a lot of really good players over the years. So it makes a lot of sense to pick them up.
Say it 5 times fast, Caleb. That's what Robert says.
I'll do one time fast.
Bulldogs Buzz. We're going back to wide receiver U, which reminds me, yes, we are the Group of Five guys, which is a podcast that we interact with on Twitter, and they gave us some love over I think last week. They ranked us as the number one, or let me go back. They did a top like positional rankings. So quarterback U, wide receiver U. They gave us unanimous number one, quarterback U. I was disappointed though, because we are wide receiver U. G5. It was all G5 schools.
Yeah.
And arguably all schools in Division I were quarterback U. Wide receiver U were competing. And running backs, they didn't even talk about us. They should have talked about us.
Who did they have as wide receiver U for Group 5?
I believe we were up there. I think we were 3 or so. I don't even remember. I know Marshall was one. One guy had Western Michigan, I believe.
Okay.
I think
I mean, unless they have a lot of like random slot receivers in the NFL that we don't know about.
Yeah. I think Corey Davis was from there. There's a couple other guys. One guy on the Chiefs, and then running back U was Memphis. They have a lot of good guys, but I mean, we put guys in the league. Tons.
I agree, and very, very good point by Robert here in the chat that quarterback and wide receiver you go hand in hand unless you're San Jose or San Diego State. Very true. Oh, I love that our rivals just cannot get a good quarterback. I love
that. San Jose State, we'll get to it later. But San Jose State, they actually have a chance this year, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they've slowly been building things. You know, Coach Brennan kind of turning things around. I think that's his name. And they've definitely been building and have some positive momentum here. And I think, having some consistency at the head coach position, and they've been doing a good job and they've been competitive. I mean, Fresno State thankfully still beat them last year with, I think that was the Logan Fife home game, right? I think was against San Jose State. And
it was the first game close. Back. Hayner's first game back was SD, I think.
Yeah.
Bulldogs, Bob Cropper, Pope, Nico, all make NFL teams. Hopefully we start next year. Our guys get drafted. Yeah, I hope so. They put up big enough numbers to get drafted. If Eric Brooks does, he should. And Mac, if he shows out, like he's a burner, I'm sure people will like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, last guy. Asiata Auckland, a recent commit end of last week, 3-star edge rusher, 6'3", 240. He looks the part. I'm excited. You know, every year we always have a decent pass rusher. You know, I think we are the Ohio State of the G5 when it comes to the edge. Right? We're always putting a guy out there that's making a difference.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're getting good commits. And this guy can play. So I'm excited about this. And I'm sure they'll move a safety down to edge at some point. So we'll see.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's where Aaron Mosby started. And now he's playing in the NFL.
Yep. All right, Caleb, let's talk baseball. And then we're gonna go back to the Mountain West over-unders that were released, I believe, by I think we're going to look at FanDuel's over-unders.
Yep.
And then we'll talk. Well, then we'll in there, and then we'll talk modeling career. Bob, no, we talked to him and we're good. We're cool. So if you're not on the live stream, Bulldogs Bob asked about Jackson Moore getting mad if we talk about recruiting. We have talked to Jackson and we're all good in the hood, which reminds me, we need to have Jackson on and we need to talk to him. So we'll get Jackson on for next week and talk. That'll be my goal. Okay, Caleb, baseball. We played St. Mary's over the weekend, smoked them.
Oh,
Wasn't
yeah.
close. Into the season on a high note. We only played 2 out of the 3, though.
Right.
And first game, we win 17-6. Second game, shutout, 12-0. You talk about getting hot at the right time. This is the definition of it. The first
Absolutely.
game. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple weekends, I mean, Dogs have been putting up football scores, which has been kind of a fun change from earlier in the season where we're just, begging for some runs. So, yeah, I think this was a good kind of final tune-up game before the conference tournament. And, definitely we're able to spread out some innings here too. I mean, Friday night was, 3 guys going. Trevor Garcia started, went 2 2/3. Then Anchor came in, went 3 1/3, and then Ariola came in and pitched the last 3. So, kind of getting our main guys, the weekend work that they needed, without straining them too much. So I think that was solid for this team to not have to strain this weekend with the pitching staff.
Yeah, I'm with you. We go Trevor Garcia, Jack Anchor, Victor Ariola in game 1, and none of them threw over 50 pitches. Anchor threw 50. Other than that, nobody threw over 50. And then on game 2, we had 4 go. Eshawn got the start. He threw 61 pitches. Roman Angelo got the win. He threw 52. And then Will Springer and Robbie Peters threw 8 and 9. So, we're saving our arms. And this is what we want. And then
the second game was the shutout effort by the 4 pitchers there. So definitely like to see that, especially from Eshawn and Roman. I mean, they're the 2 horses up front, and the Dogs are guaranteed 2 games in this tournament. So we need to get good performances from those 2 guys to make sure we have a chance to make it to hopefully regional if the Dogs can get out of this conference championship tournament.
Baseball is all about streaks and slumps, Robert. Yes. And talking about streaks, our bats are on fire. And this is what I'm really happy to see, because Eshawn has been delivering all year, but whenever we lose, when Eshawn's on the mound, it's a 2-1 ball game. And now our bats are hot. I'm not too worried about it. I feel a lot better about going into play the number 1 seed San Jose State with our bats this hot. So, because I expect our arms to be just fine.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it's a huge advantage to be playing this at home. I mean, guys don't have to travel. They're sleeping in their own bed. Their routines are, normal for the most part. Plus, being, the 1 versus 4 game, I think was even better for the Dogs, because now it's after work, the crowds can show up and, really make sure it's a home field advantage for Fresno State. So I think everything's kind of lining up here that, I mean, it's right in front of this team. They just need to show up and execute. And I mean, Murph Gray's coming off his 7th freshman of the week award. I think he had a couple, 1 home run over the weekend, over the 2 games, but had a ton of runs batted in, and just overall just continuing his hot performance. I know Hoppy hit a couple home runs. I know Blandford hit a grand slam, and I mean, the bats are heating up, and it's perfect time too, because right in time for this conference tournament.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the ribbies and the grand slam. Hoppy had 5 ribbies game 1. Murph had 3. Bobby had 4. Just these guys went crazy. And between the 3 of them, they hit 4 home runs. Hoppy hit 2 of them. And then, game 3, I was jumping the gun for a sec. Game 3, Murph hit another home run, and Piricello hit a home run. And Murph had 3 ribbies. He's player of the week, not
he should
let alone
be,
freshman. Yeah. So and Nico's hitting well. He went he went 2 for 5 with a strikeout, but he scored twice. He's looking fine. And then one name that I forgot to mention in game 1, pinch hitter Wink, Blake Wink, he got in and hit a double. So, and that's the name we haven't mentioned all year.
Right. Yeah, I think that was good to see him get in there. He was a senior, so getting him honored, or I guess Friday was senior night. But yeah, glad to get him some. I think he had 2 at bats. I want to say, or yeah, 2 on Friday, I think, and yeah, 1 on Thursday. So yeah, good to get him in the lineup a little bit, and yeah, appreciate his effort on the team because I know it's tough being a reserve guy as a senior. But him and Peyton Allen too, who I think he's definitely in a tough position this whole year because he was the starting third baseman at the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden, standout Murph Gray comes in and takes that starting job, rightfully so. I mean, he gave every effort early and definitely beat it out. So credit to him for sticking around and being a team player. I mean, I've seen him on the field and definitely part of a lot of celebrations for the guys when they're hitting home runs and whatnot. So yeah, good to see that from a senior leader on the team.
Yeah, Bob said there's going to be more people at the game than the A's game on Thursday. And yes, Murph's huge. He's going to play. He's going to be the factor for our team at the plate when we play San Jose State, because we're going to get their best on game one. That they're looking at us thinking, they know how we played and how we ended the season, so we're going to get their best, and they're not going to mess around with us. But neither are we. I'm excited for this. We'll be there. I'm going to be there. I don't know if you are, Caleb.
I'll be there. I'll be.
Yep. So I'll see you there, and we'll see you guys there. Bob will be there. We'll have to meet up, Bob. Let's preview this San Jose State game, Caleb. So there's no argument that Eshawn is going to be the guy on the mound.
Yep.
Right?
I mean, it would be crazy if he wasn't. I mean, he's the ace. I was even looking at some of the conference, stats coming into this. I mean, it's basically, the 2 top pitchers in the conference are San Diego State's TJ Fontaine, who's from Buchanan High School, actually, and Eshawn Henderson, who's from Coast West High School, playing for Fresno State. So, I mean, those 2 guys are pretty much leading most of the pitching, statistical categories here for the Mountain West Conference. So, yeah, I think if it's anyone other than Eshawn, something's very wrong. But yeah, nothing leads us to think that Eshawn's going to be on the hill. And the San Jose State team is a good team. I mean, they have a lot of really good hitters, and they just play good baseball. And I mean, they won the 1 seed in the conference. Tied with San Diego State, but they did have the tiebreaker over them. So. Definitely deserve it. They're a good team, and they had the Dogs number a little bit early. I think overall Fresno State was 2 and
I think we're 2 and 5
against them, or 2 and 4. Okay, so
yeah,
overall should be tough, but like we said, Dogs are hot. And I did want to point out though, Fresno State had the best overall winning percentage in the Mountain West Conference. So I do want to point that out, especially to some of the people out there that are maybe saying that Overland shouldn't, have this job going forward. I mean, obviously, conference record is really important. But I think, the overall record shows, look, this team is definitely competitive. They made the conference tournament. We'll see how, the tournament finishes out. But I mean, I think Overland has definitely done enough to, remove that interim tag going into next year.
I agree with you. A lot of people going into it were saying, Ovi's just got to make the tournament and he's fine. Here we are, 4 seed. We made it. We're hot right now. Heck, if we make a run, there's no reason he shouldn't be the coach. Back to Eshawn, just the 2 starts he had against San Jose State, we lost. He didn't get the loss, but we lost.
Right. Yeah.
And I believe one was a 2-1 ball game, and the other one was a 5-3 ball game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there you go. Bats. Eshawn's great. We score runs, we win those games.
Yeah, just give our guys some run support, and then a little bit more of a cushion for the bullpen, and then we'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm excited. Caleb, time, date. Do you have all that for the game Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday night, which is 25th of May, and it's a 6:05 first pitch. So. Definitely, if you're available, get out to Peapine Field. I checked today. There's plenty of tickets still available. I was looking online. So, Plenty of tickets still available, so let's show up. I know that you can buy them on site too at the box office, which is probably what I'm going to do. So I don't want to pay like processing fees and stuff online, so we'll just go direct to the source, so we don't have to process that. But yeah, I'm looking.
I'm
forward
all about
to
it, man.
Yeah,
cash payment at the door. It's easy. Done.
Yeah, exactly. That's how old school we are as 28-year-olds. But
hey, man, I feel like it's trends, right? Or it goes in waves. So. You ready to talk Mountain West over-unders?
Let's do it.
Okay. I made a huge mistake and didn't pull it up in front of me. I have the schedules up in front of me, but I do not have the here we go. I'm pulling it up.
Okay.
Fresno State. Caleb, you jump in here anytime as I pull this up.
Hang on. I'm on the live, monitoring the live. Okay. I mean, I think the first thing that stood out to me was like there's a lot of really low numbers here on the like projected win totals for the Mountain West. I mean, a lot of like 3.5s, 4.5s, 5.5s, and it'll be interesting to see what Air Force does too, because they're coming off a really strong performance last season and really just being able to dominate the line of scrimmage. And I know that they are going to be a favorite coming into this season. So, yeah, that's a big one for the Dogs. I think that Fresno State doesn't play Air Force this year. Let me pull up that schedule. But I think that would be huge if
we don't play Air Force.
Thank you. All right. So, I mean, and that's all part of this whole game too, like picking, win total over under. It's just schedule difficulty and, who in the conference that you don't end up with. So, I mean, I always, or like usual, our first instinct when we're looking at the schedule is like, how does this team not win 12 games? which usually gets us into trouble. But yeah, I mean, our first initial instinct on the Fresno State win total is, yeah, that's over easy. Like this team winning 9 games, absolutely.
Yes. Let me just break down. This is really early. We're going to do a lot more breakdowns when we get close to the season. But as of right now, Purdue, Aiden O'Connell transfers. We should compete. Eastern Washington, win. Arizona State, a lot of transfers. I don't know too much about it. That could be a tough one. We're away there, but you'll be there. And when you attend away games, we have a good record.
Yeah, so, usually it works out if I'm there, thankfully. But
right. So win. That's 3-0. Kent State, 4-0. Nevada, win. Wyoming, win. At Utah State, they're down. UNLV at home. We always struggle for some reason, but they fired Arroyo. Dumb for them. Win. We're going into Boise State, 8-0. Boise's at home. We win.
Yeah.
At San Jose State, that's tough. They do have a decent team this year, but it's a rival. We have their number. We beat them with our backup last year. Win. New Mexico, win. At San Diego State, they're down. They don't have a quarterback. Win. Is that 12 wins?
No arguments there, man. I mean, that's pretty easy. I mean, yeah, I guess the only thing I'm maybe worried about is, a big letdown game at, 8-0 versus Boise State, because that seems to be like when the wheels fall off is when the hype is too high and we have a sellout and we get smacked by Boise. So I guess that's like my main concern there. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely 9 wins on the schedule. And I think just as a theme overall, I think the Mountain West is going to be a weaker conference this year. Just because there's been a lot of talent that's departed lately. So I do think Fresno State is kind of in the best position, though, to reload rather than rebuild. And so obviously we're biased here, but the Dogs definitely should be in the conversation for the conference championship. That's for sure.
Let's look at Air Force here because they are put at 8.5. And I was looking at this, and what an absolute joke of a schedule. So strength of schedule, they ranked Fresno State 10 out of 12. So pretty weak schedule. Air Force is 12 out of 12. They get Robert Morris Sam Houston, Navy, and Army. Those are their non-cons.
Okay.
Okay. Then by the way, Air Force, they're good this year.
Yeah, Air Force is definitely the best service academy. I know that Navy fired their coach after last year. I mean, he was there for a long time. And then Army, I don't know, they just don't really seem to get the athletes that Air Force has been able to. So, yeah, they're definitely they should win those 2 games against Service Academy.
Yeah. And then they draw Utah State, San Jose State, San Diego State, which San Jose State and San Diego State will be tough this year. Wyoming, Colorado State, and Caleb, tell me what you know about Colorado State, because when I look at all of these lists of the top 100 players in college football, Colorado State has a wide receiver in every list I see. Hunter, is his last name Hunter or first name Hunter?
Could be. Is it the kid from Nevada that transferred there? That's from Central Valley. Is he still there, or did he graduate? Horton, I think.
That sounds like
That's
it.
Him? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So Colorado State, I mean, I don't believe, but they apparently have 2, and there's another player from Colorado State that is pretty in the top 100. So they could be decent. I don't know. And then Hawaii.
I think that's going to be at least a 3-year rebuild for their coach there, who hopped over from Nevada. So yeah, last year they were not good. This year I don't expect them to be that good. Hopefully marginally better for their fan base's sake. But yeah, definitely under 500 would be my guess for them. What's
over
their
under
total?
4.5.
Oof, yeah, that's tough.
Okay, back to Air Force though. Do they win? Are you taking the over or under at 8.5 for Air Force?
I mean, I have to lean over, I think, because early prediction. I wouldn't be surprised to see Air Force and Fresno State meet in the conference championship, and especially now that the conference championship format is just highest or best, the 2 best conference records facing off. And so especially it kind of works out that the 2 teams don't meet in the regular season. So I think that we could see, 9-3 Air Force team going up against an 11-1 Fresno State team.
Robert says Air Force can get better athletes because serving in the Air Force is plush compared to the other services.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Yeah, it's true. I see 10 wins on here. If they split with they just need to split with San Jose State and San Diego State, win one of those, and then and if they lose to Boise State, there's 10 wins right there at easy.
Yeah.
We were talking Colorado State at 4.5. That is really tough because they of course they're good at their job, but they start with Washington State. They're not going to beat Washington State. And then they play at Colorado. That's, I think Colorado gets their first win there. I don't think they beat Matt Rule in Nebraska. Maybe, I don't know. But anyways, that's not Mountain West. Then they get Middle Tennessee, who was a decent team last year. Utah Tech, that should be a win. Okay. Utah State, Boise State, UNLV, Air Force, Wyoming, San Diego State, Nevada, Hawaii. Okay, so I put 5 wins. I was counting. I put 5 wins, but that's a toss-up between Wyoming and a toss-up against Utah State. And then you also have Nevada, who hates their guts because of their coach and taking all their players.
Yeah, I don't see Nevada really jumping up this year, just because of how much they were decimated after. Basically their good players left to either go to Colorado State or elsewhere. So that's a tough rebuild for their coach who's going on year 2.
Do you have unders? I have my under. Do you have any unders for? I'm taking UNLV at 6.5. I'm taking that under.
Yeah, I think we're both kind of on the same page there because we both liked Coach Arroyo, and it did not make sense that they fired them. I can't wait until we get to the get to know with the whoever from UNLV that we could find that cares about football.
Yeah, last year we had Tony Cardasco, so we'll get him again.
That's right. and just to ask what the vibe around campus was, because I mean, obviously on the outside, we thought like, okay, like UNLV's kind of headed in the right direction. Like I think they were at least over 500 last year and slowly building up, and then pulled the plug and let's reset. So I agree. That seems definitely like an under. Let's see.
Okay, so let me tell you their non-cons.
Okay.
For UNLV. So Bryant, that's a win. Michigan, Vandy, UTEP. So you're playing Vandy. Michigan is a loss. They're top 4.
Yeah.
They'll probably win the Big Ten. Vandy and UTEP, weaker teams.
Right.
I don't think you're beating Vandy, but maybe.
I mean,
who knows?
Vandy did blow out Hawaii last year. I don't know if you remember that game, but they put a beat down on Hawaii. So yeah. I think that Vandy is getting better as a program. So
let me remind you though, that Hawaii team had high school seniors on that team. They were all, everybody left.
Yeah, that was a sorry team.
Hopefully, I hope the best for Hawaii. I hope you're better. Wayne Quoto, our get to know guy, Wayne Quoto. I hope everything's okay. But they do draw a weaker Mountain West schedule with Hawaii. Okay. Hawaii at home. They go to Nevada, Colorado State, us. That's a loss. Then New Mexico, Wyoming, Air Force, San Jose State. So you dodge San Diego, Boise. I don't know how you feel about Utah State. I don't think they're going to be that great this year.
No, I mean,
I know some people like their coach, but
yeah, I mean, unless they have another situation where they just all of a sudden have a really good quarterback like Logan Bonner. I remember he kind of came out of nowhere the year. I think that was that 2 years ago when they won the conference, or was that 3 years ago?
Yeah, and they beat Oregon State in the LA Bowl.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my under is UNLV, and then an obvious over for me, and I do think this is obvious, is San Jose State.
Okay.
They're at 5.5. I mean, they lost some defensive production, but Shavon Cordero's there. He's better. He's better than last year. Say that. And I think they perform well. Now, according to College Football News, they have the hardest schedule in the Mountain West. Okay. But that is because of their non-con, in my opinion. They're at USC. They get Oregon State at home. They play last year's MAC champions, Toledo, and they play Cal Poly. They also get Air Force, Boise, Fresno, and San Diego State.
Yeah, that seems difficult. But I do think that they're a bowl eligible team, though. I feel like that's kind of my barometer. It's like, okay, are they going to make a bowl or not? And I would say at least 6 wins for San Jose State.
You'd say at least 6 wins? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm going to look for them right now. You have Cal Poly win, New Mexico, Utah State, Hawaii, UNLV.
5.
There's 5. So now you got to find one more win from USC, Oregon State, Toledo, Air Force, Boise, Fresno, San Diego State.
I think they could beat Toledo. Is that at home or is that at Toledo?
It's at Toledo.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're selling me that maybe these Vegas guys actually know what they're doing here.
Yeah. Well, I said it's obvious to me that it's over 5.5. Well, it's a lot tougher, but I do think out of all those games, there's 5 wins there. There's an easy 5 wins there. You just got to win one more.
Right.
And it won't be in Fresno. That's for sure.
That's right.
But yeah, I think at Toledo is a good bet. And if you could stop the triple option at Air Force and spread them out and make them run with you through the air, because it's going to be hard to stop Cordero and that passing attack if they can figure it out. So that could be a place where they win and they get Air Force at home. Also, San Diego State, not too sure how they are this year. That could be another win. They get them at home as well.
Yep.
Robert, they have 5 games that any team could beat with their practice squad. Yes.
Well, credit to their athletic director for good scheduling, I guess. Make sure everyone keeps their job.
Are we good on over-unders, Caleb, or is there anything, or you guys in the chat? So I'm not on Twitter right now, but anything that you guys see about these over-unders or Fresno State? Robert says, what makes me nervous about Air Force is the new clock rules and the triple option. That's huge, actually. Yes.
Right.
Thank you for bringing that up, because the clock is not going to stop now on a first down. So
that's true.
I mean, the scores against Air Force, those are going to be 10-7 ball games.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, in theory, they could hold the ball for the first 30 minutes of the game.
Right.
I mean, it'd be tough to do that, but yeah, I mean, they could have ridiculously long drives, which they do already, and just control the line of scrimmage. So, yeah, definitely going to need good game planning against Air Force.
And with Brad Roberts coming back, their running back, who is a stud.
He's coming back?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So with him coming back, they have a big opportunity to do some damage if their defense can stop people. I just don't know. That's my biggest thing with the Air Force Academy is if their defense can keep up with you, because I don't feel as they're the most athletic on the defensive end. So if you have a super athletic offense, take advantage of that.
Right.
Other than that, you have Utah State 4.5, Nevada 4.5, New Mexico 3.5, Hawaii 3.5, which I'm going to stay away. Well, actually, I'm going to look at Hawaii's schedule really quick, if that's okay.
Do they have 13 games this year? Because sometimes they get that extra game because they play week 0 and because of so much travel.
Right. So they have the 11th ranked schedule in the Mountain West, and they start at Vandy. So they did they swapped last year.
Yeah, home and home. Okay.
Yep. Then they play Stanford, Albany.
Okay, when?
Yeah, yeah. Oregon. I don't think they get 13 this year. It looks like they only have 4. Oh, no, they do, because they get New Mexico State.
Okay.
Which should be a win.
Should be a win. Okay, 2 wins. So 2 wins in the non-con. So can they win 2 conference games is the question.
Yeah. Can they beat Colorado State, Wyoming, Air Force, Nevada, San Jose, New Mexico, San Diego State, UNLV?
I mean, at home, they do have an advantage just because of brutal travel for the visiting team and could be crazy wind. So I feel like it needs to be at least one home win for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, I don't know. I mean, this team was pretty bad last year, and I have no idea what's coming in. So I think I'll probably wait a little bit longer before making a call on Hawaii.
Yeah, we'll do our research over the summer on what's going on. But yeah, we don't have to travel to Hawaii. That's huge.
Thankfully, yes.
Yeah, so Hawaii's going to get killed in Oregon. Oh, man. At Oregon. All right, Caleb, let's talk about this modeling career that we have going on here.
Right.
I forgot to share the screen for the bracket, but there's the bracket real quick. If you want to see the baseball bracket, we're on YouTube. San Diego State plays Air Force. We play San Jose State. Okay. Jay Kaner did a photo shoot, and it was absolutely hilarious. And he's messing around. And Michael and I got to talk to Jake, and this is who Jake is. And
right.
if anybody has got to know Jake, this is who he is. So, Caleb, can you see it on the screen?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. All right. So a little Zoolander. It's going around Twitter. Everybody's talking about Zoolander. And I mean, I'm happy that he did this. I know it may look weird, but I actually like it. Have some fun with this.
Right.
These guys that don't smile. I mean, look at this. Look, what is that? But the guys that don't smile, they don't look like they're having fun. They're too cool for school. I love this. So, Caleb, what are your thoughts? I'll keep scrolling through while you talk.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Jake was definitely a friend of the camera. He was always like really good doing media stuff too, and I mean, he's a good looking guy, and I think that,
Whoa, whoa,
oh my
whoa.
gosh,
No.
these are crazy, man. But yeah, I mean, hopefully this was done, kind of jokingly, and whoever was taking the
Oh, for
photos
sure.
was prompting him to do a little blue steel here and there. But yeah, I mean, this is
There
good,
you go.
good.
That's it.
Exactly. That's the blue steel right there. Perfect. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fun at this point. I'm sure he's gonna get like hazed a little bit on the team as a rookie. I have to imagine. I mean, if you have these pictures coming out, that's probably gonna get you made fun of, in the OTA start. But yeah, fun to see. And again, I think New Orleans is going to be a good spot for Jake. Getting to learn behind Derek and grow as a quarterback. So overall, I'm not going to complain about the team photographer kind of doing Jake like this, because I think overall it's a good situation for him to be in, and hopefully he's having fun there.
Oh yeah, I think Jake had a blast doing this. If I know anything about Jake Haener, he had so much fun doing this, and he doesn't care what people think about him. And I mean, during the season, he got rid of his phone at Fresno State. He doesn't care. Yeah. He doesn't even know what people are saying. So he just somebody else is putting it up, and everybody else is having a good time with it. So I think it's fine. And the Saints fans, I'm sure they don't care either. I think they all appreciate a good laugh like this.
Right.
Hey, what's the saying? Any press is good press.
Exactly. Yep.
And I wouldn't even argue that this is bad press.
Right. This is good press. I mean, the Saints are in the news for good reason.
Exactly. Thank goodness. All right. Well, just something fun for to end it on a fun note. Anything else, Caleb, that we need to talk about that we missed, or that you guys in the comment section want to throw in there? Let us know. I mean, Caleb, I can't think of anything. We have those three recruits coming in baseball season. Just make sure you're at the game.
Definitely, yeah. Hopefully, everyone can make it out to Peavine Field, and I mean, last chance of the season to see the Dogs in person, at least in Fresno. Hopefully, they're making it to a regional, and but that would be some traveling if you want to see them in person. So get out there Thursday night. I'm super excited. It's right in front of them. They just got to take it.
Yeah, oh man, it's okay. So it's double elimination, so you guys know. So if we lose, there will be another chance to watch them. Well, and if we win, we have more games to play. So it's not one and done. Be ready to go. We're going to have to show up to multiple games. I'm pumped. I've had so much fun watching baseball this year and covering it. This was our first year doing football, basketball, and baseball. I've had such a good time. So
yeah.
And June 17th, Bucket Golf, Givoli Winery. Sign up at bewarebulldogs.com. Check-in is at 8:30. We're teeing off at 9. Shotgun start. You're going to have to bring a wedge. That's the secret, is a wedge. Don't bring in like a 9 or a 6. No, bring a wedge. I'm telling you, I've been practicing. Bring a wedge. And then we're going to supply wiffle balls for you. And we have wine, beer, and a good time. I have my team, Caleb, by the way. I got my 3 guys. Perfect. We're ready to go. We're practicing. I know the TFF dudes are going to be there. You're bringing a team. I got some other people that are coming. So it's going to be fun. We hope to see you there. Follow us. Twitter, Beware CSUF. Instagram, Beware Bulldogs Podcast. And on YouTube, Beware of Bulldogs. Hop in the chat. Talk to us. Thanks, Robert and Bob, for... Okay, by the way, is Robert and Bulldogs Bob the same person?
I don't know. It could be. But I would
we need a confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can hop in the chat and let us know what you guys think. Ask Caleb really personal questions, get deep into his personal life. And Robert asks, how about a wedgie? And no, they are not the same person. So whatever floats your boat, Rob. and good to know that Bulldogs Bob and Robert are not the same person. We will see you guys next week. We got a lot going on. No, we'll see you Thursday at the baseball park, at the baseball diamond. Stay safe, stay healthy. God bless. And as always, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.